All right, Big Bang. Today's Wednesday. It's May 7th. Welcome to the Dog Walk, presented by Barstool Sports. Freesome Wednesday. Everyone's here. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Fantastic now that my headphones
Looked like you were struggling.
It was.
You looked like a guest who was in here for the first time, didn't know how to put the air socket.
I had a piece of my bang hanging out, wanted to make sure that hat slicked it all the way back. We're back.
Did you guys see off the tails of last week that people think that, I think his name was Michael, who sent in that picture of the Italy prime rib sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
They think that he is doing some funny business.
Really?
That's what John Rich and John Rich and a couple other the New York employees, they went there because they were like so flabbergasted by the idea. And even Robbie went back too. He's like, I didn't go. He's like, I had them pick it up for me because I didn't want any.
The special treatment.
Yes, I didn't want any of that. And he sent me the picture. It looked like a great sandwich. It looked way bigger than what Michael got. So there's some.
This would be a very strange lie.
Yeah. Does he have like why does he hate Italy? That would be like the only way why he would do it.
Exactly. And I would be like, oh, okay, like maybe we have something here. But then there is another guy, I think his name was Josh. He kept replying too with his sandwich, and his didn't look quite as bad as the one we showed, but his did not look great either.
Yeah, Mike's look like different bread, different meat, different everything.
Mike's was like you can take him to court. Like that's how that was how it was like false advertising.
He looked like he got like a Philly cheesesteak from the mall that they put like one like little frozen patty on there.
Yeah.
That wasn't even chopped up. So I found that funny.
You might need to follow up with him.
With
Mike.
Are you going to New York anytime soon?
No, I was just there. I've been though. Did I say that? I've had it.
I've had that sandwich?
Yes, I've had it.
I don't remember if you said that.
Mine was somewhere in between. Mine definitely was not as juicy as Robbie's.
Yeah.
But still
yeah,
on
it was
the leash.
like I was never like at a point where I was going to take it back or complain or even say anything about it because I didn't. But yeah, on the leash for sure. So I found that interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else, just going through everything. So you said you have a good on the leash, off the leash in a little bit. So I'm excited to get to that. We'll get to that momentarily. Question, is Cinco de Mayo kind of a chick holiday now? Have the chicks breached the gates?
This would be news to me. Why would it be a chick holiday?
I feel like, and it's fine, go wild chicks. But like I feel like the chips and guac and margaritas are a cornered market by the chicks.
I also feel like if you're going to have a shot of a liquor, girls always go tequila. Where guys will do Jameson or
for sure.
Yeah.
Like if you were like, hey Ed, like let's go get some chips and guac and margs, I'd probably be like, like,
like
you know what I mean?
Tell me?
Yes, like yes, right? Yeah. I feel like that's
like, asking someone to be a groomsman. Like maybe you say that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, let's get a beer. Let's get some, I don't know.
Well, did you see a lot of girls celebrating exclusively yesterday or Cinco de Mayo?
No, I just casually, like it was a Monday this year.
I think girls love a theme.
Yeah,
I think that's
need structure.
Yeah.
And I like a theme too.
Yeah.
To be clear, but
I think it really depends on like what day of the week Cinco de Mayo falls on. Like this year was a Monday. I think two girls will like go out and get margs and chips and guac on a Monday where like guys will not, but they will go all out if it's like Thursday through Sunday, if that makes sense.
That does make sense.
That does. But yeah, just an observation. I'm surprised you don't think so.
I guess I hadn't seen that on social. I mean, it makes sense. I could be convinced of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like with everything, any kind of theme, like the girls are always the ones setting it up, buying the decorations, buying the food. The guys are just there.
They love a theme, and it's like there really isn't one for April. So they go Galentine's in February. They go St. Patrick's Day in March. They go through withdrawals in April, so they got to have Cinco de Mayo.
True. True.
Yeah, I think guys love a theme too, just not enough to like go on a grocery trip or like Party City.
I had a theme trivia charity night this weekend that I went to.
Saw that.
Yeah, and it was like ships and sailors or whatever.
That was your group's theme. Every group has a theme at that place.
You've
right?
been to this,
yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great charity, and that was every table is a different thing. Like they said, there was a bunch of girls. There was a full.
What was your sailor costume? What was yours?
Mine was. I ordered a Popeye shirt.
Nice.
I wore a Popeye shirt and I wore some boat shoes.
So I saw a picture of this.
Wait, just a sailor theme party?
So it was,
I remember getting a picture of you and one of our mutual friends.
Listen, here's the
And I don't recall it being Popeye.
You
So
should
I'm
have
gonna
been.
have to pull this back
You
up.
should have been Captain Hook's assistant.
Oh, that's not what, that's why I messed up. You said you got a Popeye shirt. That's a very specific thing. Like you're dressed like the cartoon. You have just a navy blue T-shirt with the Popeyes logo.
Yeah, no, not you're not Popeye's chicken. You're making it sound like
No. I'm talking Popeye eating spinach.
Yeah, Popeye the Sailor Man.
Popeye the Sailor Man. But you could dress like him specifically.
Oh, yeah, I could've.
You're like, I'm wearing a T-shirt that I got at Target.
Here, can I be honest with you? Not hating on the theme because I don't know who came up with it for my table, and I respect the people that do the legwork on that kind of stuff because I've been there, and
Yeah.
can't be the one to complain about a theme when you don't try to help with the theme. That's
Fair.
always
Yep.
my
Yes.
mantra.
Mm-hmm.
But I loathe, like there's a couple things I loathe, and one is the mohawk haircut, and two, the captain's hat. I don't like the captain's
Like
hat.
the little white sailor
Yeah,
cap.
if you're one of those guys, that's like a face. Like people make that their thing. Maybe it's just in my circle.
Like World of T-shirts.
Yes, yeah, he wears it too.
He's like, that's his look now.
That's his
If you're
look.
wearing
Like,
a sailor
you're in the
hat,
Navy.
you're trying to be World of T-shirts.
Not that one. I'm fine with
What am I thinking of?
Like it has like the brim on the front,
the black brim,
like a little gold rope.
Look at the.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
All right,
So
yeah.
have you ever seen someone wearing that in public?
Unironically?
Yeah.
I don't know that I have.
And
Like-
it's like over under 11.5 for how many times they say I'm the captain now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a tough look.
A couple kids in college did it. There's a guy in my bocce league who wears a captain's hat every week.
Yeah, you're talking like Captain Dave Portnoy when he's on his boat.
Yes,
A hat
those
like
hats.
that.
Yes,
Okay.
which like Dave is doing ironically.
As a bit.
He is kidding.
Yes.
He would not go out and wear that hat to.
But people do?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm
That's-
glad I don't know any people like that.
I think that
You
look
agree
is-
with me or am I
I
crazy?
think it's retired now because of World of T-shirts. Like that's his jersey.
True. Do you know who that is?
I feel like I've heard of it, but
Wild little boy on TikTok.
Iconic guy. I think he's a special needs kid on
I don't know if that's confirmed, but I would
TikTok.
assume.
I don't know, but he goes out. He has some drinks. He's a wild boy on TikTok.
Put the fries in the bag.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah. So
But to be fair, I don't think Popeye wore that. He
I
wore
know,
the-
but I'm saying
you wore the little round one.
Yeah.
if I really like that would have completed the outfit. I think I would have done my due diligence.
You would have participated.
Yes, but I loathe the captain hat.
I said before.
I wish you did like the actual Popeye white button down.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And like the people who wore it Saturday don't mind, don't care. They were doing it for the theme. Ironically,
Hey, next time you have a sailor themed party, you got to dress as Captain Hook's right hand man with the blue and white stripes and the
Me?
red.
I am.
That's me.
Yeah, I'm also having a what do you call it? Berenstain Bears moment with. I thought Popeye's
Oh, yeah.
getup was completely different than this,
Yeah,
and what I'm
so he
looking
does
at.
wear the captain.
He does wear the captain's hat.
Does he?
I was picturing like the sailor cap,
Same.
I was wearing this.
and then I was also picturing like an all white uniform, but he's got like a black shirt with like a red trim on the top.
I don't remember this at all.
What is that called? Why do I always forget what this
Mandela effect?
Mandela effect? Thank you.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, this is what I'm thinking of. That.
Yeah.
That's what I
yeah,
think
okay.
of. Maybe Popeye had a rebrand.
It was like, a Navy uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wore this guy. This guy was on my chest for like 8 hours on Saturday, and I had to look up what he looks like. So that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have brought some spinach though, for sure. And I like if I wore the hat, I think I did with the boat shoes and the shirt. I think
Yeah.
like I did.
You just wore like a t-shirt.
Yeah, but I feel like that's part of the thing because someone was like, "Oh yeah, we were looking at you and we're like, oh, he didn't go into the theme." Like, and I was like, "Oh no, I paid $22 for a t-shirt I'm never gonna wear again, which is not a high price, but whatever."
Pass fail, you passed.
I tried. I put some effort in.
Now, is this one of those things where the day came, you're like, oh, fuck, I forgot. Let me see if I can go to Target and get a Popeye shirt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
This was like I got saved by 2 day shipping, and it got here at like 5 o'clock, and the thing was at 6:30.
Got it.
You just have to hope that someone shows up not dressed at all, because then
People
any
did.
spotlight is off.
There were a couple people who were in golf attire trying to pass off a sailor attire. I feel like I did better than that,
Yeah.
which is fair.
You hit the theme.
Yeah, there were some funny ones though. Like one guy was Edward Scissorhands, and like there was a bunch of bushes. Like there were some just shrubs
That's
around.
pretty
him.
good.
That was good. One was Blue Origin. There was a bunch of. It was all girls or one guy, and all the females were in the spacesuits.
Yeah.
And one guy was just the world.
He was the world. Yeah. I was going to see if he was Bezos.
No, yeah, that would have been good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some good ones. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's irrational. But I couldn't wear it ironically because I don't like the people who wear it unironically. Moral of the story.
Okay. Values.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's, someone could probably answer this pretty quickly, but is the fact that we have to put in our zip code for our credit card, like at the gas station or whatever, is that like the weakest security measure? Because like I was thinking, if you are at like a neighborhood bar where you have the same zip code, you can easily guess someone's.
If you lose your card at a gas station, odds are you're probably going to type in the zip code of where you are.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. I was just thinking about that. We have so many other measures for like your debit card, even like passwords. Can't get into anything without 2 passwords or
how often do you think you fill up for gas in your own neighborhood?
I would have when I was a gas guy, I would have one gas station that I would predominantly pump up at like 90% of the time.
It was in your zip code?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like I just do it as needed.
Yeah, wherever you're at.
Yeah, so like sometimes it's by the office, sometimes it's on the way home. If I can get out to the suburbs when I need some gas, that's a home run because it's always like 60 cents cheaper.
Yep.
So like I'll always fill up in the suburbs, but I feel like I don't know that would.
I guess better question is why would they ever make your zip code the password address and not just like a PIN?
That is fair. I don't know why that's.
I don't know. It's a mixture of I thought and a revelation.
Probably because gas stations don't have the security measures, or they don't have the right to have a PIN, right? Like I don't.
If you pay with a debit card, sometimes.
Yeah, true. Never mind. That's dumb because if you go to a Jewel or a Mariano's, you type in your PIN.
Are you only typing in the zip code? Is it zip code? Am I fucking it up or Eric?
I fucked that up.
Area code is your phone number. Which
yeah, okay. That's what I had it right.
Me is 630.
Are you only typing in the zip code at a gas station?
I think. I mean, like when you buy things online, you have to fill out your billing address, which will include their zip code.
Mm-hmm. But that's not like a security measure, really.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're probably right. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Yeah, it's like a weird difference.
I wonder if it's like data tracking.
The internet says it's just to help verify the cardholder's identity and prevent fraud.
See, that's what I mean. How? So if I
just one extra measure, because like you're right. Like if you would guess that zip code,
yeah,
for sure. But then I wonder if it locks you out if you miss it once.
I mean, those things are finicky. If I remember right. They'll fucking make you go to a new pump. I hate that.
C cashier.
Yeah.
C cashier in the winter is like,
oh my God. Makes me want to bloody knuckles from punching the fucking thing.
It's going to break down.
Yeah. I know.
Also, adding value to your Ventra card, your CTA card, they asked for the zip code.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
But I don't know. It was more like, why wouldn't you just have me like create a PIN for my credit card the same way you do my debit card?
That's a valid question. Valid question, DC.
It was just really on my mind. That's all.
No, I understand.
I thought Chief was gonna hit me with a quick. Oh, there's a simple answer for that.
I don't know. I didn't have one, but apparently it is simple to prevent fraud. I don't know why that prevents fraud, but apparently it does.
Let's do your honor off the leash question.
So I was getting food with a friend at a fast casual restaurant, taco place, and while we were waiting for our food, there was a group of 4 people at a table, and they all ordered food, and they were eating, but they had brought their own chessboard and were playing chess in the lobby. And one of the workers came over and was like, "You guys, sorry, you can't play chess here." And they're like, "Why? We're paying customers. We're not really causing a ruckus." They weren't like aggressive, but just genuinely asking him. And then he was like, "Well, I don't know. There's 4 of you. I don't know if this is going to be a tournament." Basically saying that they were going to end up loitering there. And then the kids playing chess were like, well, we won't stay any longer than we would have had we not been playing chess. And they were like how long basically can we stay until you deem it loitering? And then eventually just sorry guys, can't play chess, and called it off. Is it off the leash to ban people from or forbid people from playing chess in your
I think so.
right? But
So
like
one more time, what was the restaurant? Or what was
it was, I think it was a soul taco.
Okay, so it was just like a.
Yeah, like fast food, casual, like
Okay.
not fancy at all.
But is it kind of a sit-down place or more like a Chipotle?
It's kind of a sit down.
Okay.
Way more of a sit down than Chipotle. Because they had, judging by like some of them hadn't even like opened some of their food I saw, so they were probably in there, I don't know, 20, like under a half hour.
Wait, so is that off the leash to bring
For
a
the-
chessboard to a restaurant, or for the restaurant to ask them not to play? Is that
What's the difference between sitting there and chatting versus sitting there and playing chess?
It was just one of those things where it's like, can you do that? You know, can I just bring a chessboard wherever I want?
So, but that's two questions, right? I think we have two questions.
Well, yeah, just switch perspective. I would say, is it off the leash for the employee to kick them out even though they weren't causing a ruckus
So they straight up
or
left.
loitering?
I think that is off the leash, with the exception is if people are like waiting for a table and they're like
Yeah, there was like at least 2-3 small tables available.
then this is wild by the taco place. Let them play chess.
I don't think you deal with this problem like that's a good way to get ahead of the problem. If you see the board get busted out, you just move the first pawn, then it's like, hey, let's get ahead of this before a couple of the bishops and the rooks get killed and I got to ruin a game mid-game. But I feel like this is a problem where if it's like, if you see they're playing like 3 games and like there's a little ruckus going on and they're staying too long, then you deal with it, right?
A chess ruckus?
Baby, I mean,
I don't know. This to me, like, there are. How old were these people?
Like early 20s.
Okay, so of drinking age, because there are bars. Like I know Guthrie's.
it's a board game.
They have like board games. You just grab it off the shelf. Like, they'll let you play chess there as long as you want. And then I'm trying to think of.
If I had to think in the worker's mind, the chessboard came in like kind of a bigger box, and from the start he probably like saw them walking in there with that and like, what do they plan on doing here? Like, what's going on? And his antennas immediately went up.
Yeah, no, I think that's off the leash by the restaurant. Unless if you have a historical problem with
Chess
people,
references.
yeah, well, just like people loitering and doing shit like that.
But like, think about, like, I've worked at restaurants, and think about if you just saw someone walk in with like a Monopoly board. It's like, well, all right, what's about to be going on here? And then what if they were like, okay, we'll stop playing Monopoly whenever you just tell us to stop playing Monopoly.
Yeah, Monopoly's different. From
Monopoly is like they're going to be there 6 hours.
Yeah,
Might be there after close.
But chess, you could play long games of chess.
yeah, sure, but a large majority of them.
I'm saying I think that it doesn't matter what it was in the workers' eyes. They were just like, you're doing some weird extracurriculars in our lobby.
Yeah. Like, even if it was, so would they have like had a problem with a kid watching an iPad?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, is
like,
that an issue?
Like, you can go iPad route, you can go board game route. It's all the same, but some are allowed and some aren't.
I think if you're keeping to yourself, you're not causing a ruckus, because obviously there are some games that could get animated.
Sure.
People could be cheering and there could be fights, whatever.
Yeah, no one's saying hungry hippos is allowed.
Yeah,
You're not doing that.
I'm sure there was the casual like, let's go, and like just dumb stuff like that. They'd
Sure.
be just as loud had they only been eating. But
I can't think of why a couple quiet guys couldn't be playing some chess while they ate their meal.
I kind of
I'm
agree.
upset about this.
Unless if the board, was it a huge board where it's like, sir, like, I'm not going to be able to put your enchiladas on your table because your board is taking it up.
No,
Like,
they seem to have it figured out. They got the food first.
Seemed like they had done it before. Yeah.
yeah, it's great. But is it off the leash to bring a fucking chessboard to a meal? Like,
I
just
think it's kind of a weird move, but I don't. There's that other sportsman's club down in on Western Avenue that lets you play chess too. I feel like this is not that uncommon
True.
to be playing board games out at bars and restaurants.
Yeah, like there's certainly places that would completely allow you to play chess in there,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Starbucks or something.
For sure. Yeah, I guess I'm going off the leash.
Off the leash.
Yeah.
That's like a borderline. If it happened to me, I might ban them.
But like I said, I do need to know the history of the restaurant, because like where I live, the neighborhood I live in, it borders Park Ridge, and I'll sometimes go to, downtown or uptown Park Ridge for dinner or whatever. The Potbellies the Panera there is a strict guidelines. You are not allowed if you're under 18 without a supervised adult.
Yeah.
Because they have these fucking Maine South kids causing a ruckus all over the place.
Well, I'm anti-ruckus.
Yeah.
But that's tough for under 18 because I feel like Panera was like a good high school date spot.
Yeah, well, no, they're barred, and like you've seen it too. Like,
Yeah, great spot to like chill in the winter. If you're
for sure. And there's like a strip of them. Like there's a Potbelly, there's a Chipotle, and all of them, they are just kind of overtaken by high school kids to a degree.
You see all the bikes parked outside.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm kind of like that's theirs. Like I'm the outside. I'm the intruder.
Yeah.
Getting
In
my
that
food and getting
situation.
the fuck out of there.
Yes, but I understand what restaurants are like. Hey, we're trying to
Have a business here.
Yeah, we can't just be having you order
Well, and I do
water in a fucking
and then you're taking up real estate.
99-cent Danish because it's past 10 p.m. you know.
Right.
Yeah, like I think it's completely on the leash for restaurants to just be ageist against kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
That I agree
But
with.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I need to know if there's any history there. But it sounds like no.
I don't know, man. Downtown Chicago, but they were also like not teenagers. Playing chess isn't very intimidating.
Wait. So,
They're not doing the salt shake.
Maybe they
trick.
just want nerds at their restaurant. It's
Yeah.
bad for
They're
business.
ruining their vibe.
so you said they left, though?
It looked like they finished up real quick and just
Yeah.
like their last game or whatever.
They got checkmated by the restaurant.
Yeah.
No, just let the guys play chess.
Yeah.
But that could get out of hand, too. Once you know that they allow that there, then they tell their buddies. Next
The
thing you know,
whole-
you
whole
come out with the chips and the guac, and it's like,
flooded with the chess community.
It should be noted it was a BYOB place. I can't remember if they were drinking though.
there's another surrounding suburb that there's a very decaying mall called Gulf Mill Mall. You guys ever been?
Oh yeah, that was my mall.
53? Is it on 53?
It's on Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
It is Jasper Mall
Oh, really?
esque. Yes.
you like still see the outline of the Kohl's sign.
Yeah, I lost every
Sad.
anchor store besides JCPenney. Like, there's like an AMC. There's a Bath and Body Works.
Eddie's lurking around there at night.
I was back home in St. Charles over the weekend. We had the Charlestown Mall, which is on the other side of town. And I guess that has become so abandoned that Toyota was like filming commercials on the inside and like driving cars at like high speeds through the mall for
Hey,
because like there's nothing else going on there.
use it for something.
Yeah.
But I think they are actually in the midst of converting it. There's going to be like condos and do like a whole bunch of other things. But regardless, there is one game store there, and it is the most bumping place you'll ever see.
Like video, like a GameStop? Kind of games.
No, this is like there's old guys playing cards.
Okay.
There's like,
What's this?
I don't know the
Find
name
out?
of the place. I don't know the name of the place. There's a big I know a big game is called Warhammer. Have you ever heard of Warhammer? Like one of those big like Dungeons and Dragons type games.
Okay.
Where, like, just like adults who are kind of into that shit are playing. And it's a scene. Like there are whatever 6 feet folding tables just packed to the brim with and there's like probably 15 tables.
Really?
Yeah. So like I could maybe that server's like, hey, we're not turning into this place. But
No
Getting way ahead
Warhammer
of it.
in here.
Warhammer, yeah,
If you let them play chess, the next thing you know, it's full on Dungeons and
it's
Dragons.
Warhammer, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't know. That's my only thinking. I did have two. I forgot to air out another. I feel legitimate complaint about the airline industry. Which
Proceed.
This fucking podcast could just turn into airline and
Complaints.
restaurant
Yeah,
complaints.
weather.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to today's airline, restaurant, and weather complaints.
Just get
Presented by the Free Swim.
Get a couple rocking chairs and post up on a porch.
Yeah, exactly. So this is also part of the reason why I told you about my suit situation.
Yep.
This is part of the reason why I was like a little more bummed out about it too, because I fly United predominantly
Okay.
because it's a Chicago hub. They basically own a terminal, like a lot of
Dude.
direct flights.
Yeah.
And I like from flying so much from work, like my one perk, I don't even get first class upgrades. I don't get my one perk is that I'm always in boarding group 1,
Nice.
right?
Yeah.
That's my one perk.
It's a good perk.
It's a good perk,
Yeah.
really good. Like I don't have to check shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be a good perk if they fucking enforced it. I noticed the lady in front of me, boarding group 3. She's just in front of me, boarding group 1. They do not enforce that shit at all. Like, at all.
I think that the boarding group thing is almost an honor system.
I know, but...
Because it's like, hey, no, this is not your group. Go back and wait in line for 12 minutes.
Yeah, but at some point, though, if I was in 2...
I don't disagree with you. I've never done it where it's like I'm going up to the front. I feel like Nicky Smokes did that when we were going
Did he?
to England, yeah.
Oh.
But it's just like, I'm not... I got 8. I got boarding group 8. Like, it sucks,
exactly.
But yeah.
There was only one direct flight from New York to Birmingham. I had to fly Delta. I was 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like, rough shit.
Yeah.
You certainly can't fake being in the first group. Like, if you have 4 and you want to fake 3, maybe, but the first group.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
first class and veteran, the stolen valor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, there are some people in 2, maybe at the tail end, that maybe had to check their bag because your ass jumped it and went in instead of going to 3. So that's my thing. If you're going to enforce the damn suit, then tell me why this lady in front of me with 3 gets to go before me, even though it didn't affect my situation at all. But it's just made me mad about some rules being enforced and some not.
Do you think so? Here's another perspective on that. If let's say you're boarding group 8 and there's someone who's in 6 who tries to go in 3, would you rather have them just go through and not muck everything up? Or would you rather have the flight attendant be like, hey, no, sir, and then they're potentially an argument, then he's got to get out of line.
Oh, yeah.
It slows everything down.
No. I want a walk of shame line. Like, I want, put up the banisters, put like an exit line. Yeah. I want the walk of shame line.
Like, turn around on the diving board.
Yeah.
And it's that easy because it's an inarguable scenario.
Yeah,
if you walk up and I see 3, nope, wait.
Would you care as much if you knew that wasn't going to affect you having to check a bag or not?
It really doesn't affect me much anymore since I'm always 1 because I'm always going to be in a good spot, right?
Yeah.
But now it was just principle that I didn't get to do my one thing because of the rules.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's talk rules.
Played by the rules.
Exactly. Let's talk rules, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I've always thought that because they never look at your phone. You just scan it. And I'm like, could I just go if I wanted to? Do they actually enforce this? Yeah. But I never want to risk like having to turn around and walk back past
No, they don't.
Group 1.
I don't know if I should
I hope people don't
You had a flight attendant on probably 3-4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Did this question come up?
It didn't.
Okay. Can we text her?
Yeah, I should. I wasn't as passionate about it at the time. I wonder if I don't even know. It might have been just like a Twitter DM thing. But yeah, that really chapped my ass.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
No, it doesn't look like I don't know what I would name her, like flight attendant on my phone or something.
Yeah.
All right, I got a question.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I was gonna use this as my on or off the leash, and I just did a banked one that also happened 2 weeks ago because I wasn't sure if this had to be sponsor friendly. Let me start with this. At your highest, at your quote unquote best, let's talk hungover Sunday. How many times could you jerk off if you wanted to?
If you wanted to. So this is like this.
All right, maybe not if you wanted to. Would you agree that like typically hungover Sunday you might be masturbating more than you normally would? The hangover hornies. And if not Sunday, maybe, I don't know, you get something else gets you a little hyped up on other days than usual.
Well, throw a number out there, Dave.
I would if like in the prime, like I'm saying the prime.
Like maybe roommates aren't home that weekend.
Yeah, like prime, like I think prime regardless. Like I topped out at 3. I never made it past 3.
So my buddy, my age, 32, for what it's worth, was super hungover. We're gonna leave names out of this, Eddie. No. Super hungover, and his roommate was gone for the weekend. And I met up with him, and he dropped that. He's like, "Oh, yeah, she's gone. Jerked off 3 times this morning." And he's like, and he had mentioned
in the morning.
In the morning, and he was probably only home from like, I don't know, 9 a.m. to maybe 2 p.m. because he was coming back from another party, and it got brought up because he mentioned he was like, "Oh, can't wait to rub one out when I get home." And I was like, 4? I was like, that's crazy. He's like, not that crazy. And I was like, that's way more than you usually do. He's like, sure, but like 3 a day I could do no problem.
3 a day, no matter what.
No, like if he
In that state?
on a normal day.
Listen, I love this guy, but I can't support him on this one.
They looked at me like I was crazy.
No, wait, everyone at the table did?
Well, they immediately went to like, oh, you're telling me like when you were 13 you couldn't. I was like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, when you're in
Yeah,
your
that's
prime.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, why
At
would you even like
32.
compare it to that? This is night and day. 32, I'll be.
I go to the bathroom, back.
Oh, he's gonna rub one out. 32, dust would be
32.
coming out by the third one.
I think there's a lot of circumstances too where it's like, why are you so horny? Are you backed up a little bit?
Yeah, and like, yeah,
I've never even thought about the hungover hornies before either.
yeah.
You think that's the
you're
thing,
with
Lance?
you're probably with a woman most of the time.
Yeah,
I think being hungover, definitely there's something about it where you're waking up maybe a little more morning wood than you would be, and then it kind of like lingers with you. And I feel like somehow maybe I've convinced myself jerking off kind of makes you feel less hungover.
I mean,
Yeah.
you
You know?
get like there is like a brain chemical rush of like, what is that?
Oh yeah, dopamine. I mean,
Dopamine or
yeah, you
yeah.
definitely need a little more dopamine
Yeah.
when you're hungover
To
too.
get you going.
I think if I was trying, I had to try my hardest right now at the age of 27, I think I'd give you 6 in one day.
Whew.
I think I was trying my hardest. The 6th one might cause me some pain.
Yeah, mind
I think
you.
if I was trying hard.
And
I
this
might
is
could.
also because I do not feel this way about sex at all.
Yeah.
Like I like hungover
That's
sex.
exercising.
No. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
no,
want.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
But like this guy wasn't trying his hardest. He wasn't doing the 6, 12, 18,
casual.
24 challenge.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh yeah, obviously I rubbed 3 out this morning. No one's home.
obviously. That's
I mean, because I could right now if I really wanted to, but it's not something I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize I jerked off 3 times today. Like that, you're remembering that day. You're depleted.
because it's been a while since you've done that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
years, maybe decades.
think
And I would
it's
just
still-
feel like
I
I
would
would have to go to reconciliation after. I'd feel so ashamed of
I
myself.
think I could probably still do 3 in a day.
Yeah. Yeah. Again,
But
trying. We're not, for anyone listening, we're not saying like we can't do it. We're just saying like we wouldn't brush it off. It's like, yeah, just jerked off 3 times in like 3 hours MBD.
I also just don't think I've ever like shown up to a lunch or whatever you met this guy for and been like, just so you
it was
know.
just the boys.
And then, yeah, and then he reaches in for like the chips and guac or whatever, and now it's like, dude, like your hand,
Your hand has calluses on it.
yeah, it's gross. I don't care how if you showered or how many times you wash and scrub, it's still gross to me.
You get those paws away from
Yeah.
me.
I don't know, disgusting. Should we just end the show while Ed's not here? Feel like we
Yeah.
finished
Stop.
that.
Stop recording when he comes in. We'll just have him go on about.
How many times he could jerk off?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Lance, you said 6.
I mean, if I was like trying really hard and I was like, okay, I could probably keep going. I think like in what you're saying, like how many times would you do without realizing it? I think like once you've hit the 3rd, you're like, oh God, you know, you're saying it's like, all right.
The second,
I need to do something else.
The second jerk off at this age is like I should not be doing this. Like,
And you said in a span of 3 hours.
and it was probably like
It's
5.
also like a mood thing too, where it's like if let's say I have this window between 9 and 2 and I jerk off 3 times and I had plans, I am canceling those plans.
I can't look people in the eyes.
But it's also just like my energy, my mood, everything is just like it's depleted. Like I'm literally depleted. I'm not doing anything.
But you were saying before you never really noticed the hangover hornies. But if you're waking up next to your girlfriend, aren't you poking her like every time?
Yeah, but not if I'm like actually very hungover.
Oh, like nauseous you're talking?
Not like I would say like I don't know why this happens, but I would say really in the last 10 years, I don't get like the nausea or the headaches from hangovers. I get like ache joints or ache pains. So like literally like my groin, my hips, my knees, my ankles, they're all just like, they're all sore and stiff where it's just like, I don't really even want to get out of bed. I don't want to have any extra movement. So like, no, like I might be having morning wood, but I'm not necessarily trying to have sex in that scenario because my body hurts.
Yeah. I've been cursed with like, I don't get nauseous. I just puke. I don't even feel it coming.
The next day?
No, like whenever, not even just hangover. Like if I'm sick, I'm not like feeling queasy. I'm just like, there's like a 30-second period where like I feel it coming up in my chest. I'm like, oh.
And you feel better after?
After I puke, but
How often do you do that now? And it's not related to hangovers? That's just like how you are.
well, like if even with a hangover, I just don't get nausea. Period. Like even if I have the flu, I'm not like feeling queasy.
I don't think I've done the next day puke from drinking in like 12 years.
Oh, but brushing your teeth hungover is the second hardest thing in the morning. It's you get that tongue a little too much, It's the gag button.
So I've also never been able to make myself puke. So that was always the thing where I remember being like 5th, 6th, 7th grade, being like, I can't fake a fever. I have to figure out how to puke. And I would like try to make myself puke in the bathroom so I could stay home from school to like miss a test or something. And I could just never do it.
You know what's the trick people don't talk about enough? It takes 2 individual times. So you have to play with the punching bag once for a good
You have to actually touch it.
10 seconds or whatever, or stick it down long enough, but you're never going to get it that time. You give it like another 10 seconds and you go back in. Hey, if you want to fake sick, I'm just telling you.
Yeah. But like that's a thing where it's like I don't think I'd ever want to do that. Like I physically couldn't reach that far into my throat to make myself yak. And then same thing, like that grosses me out, and then putting contacts in would gross me out too.
Oh, yeah,
I just can't. There's certain parts that I just don't do.
All right, I whacked out 3.
Probably.
That's the first time I got fucking smoked on a podcast.
What?
At least a free swim. Just like had to go to the bathroom.
Oh. I was like, what?
You got the B-boy bladder.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, I've done it for like a snake draft because I was like
Long. Those can be
like an hour and a half. Yeah, this is like a 40 minutes. So my apologies.
You mentioned on the yak that you went in for a eye consultation.
Yeah.
Do you have to get LASIK done again after the first time? Like if your eyes get worse?
You can do touch-ups, but
So how are yours going?
no, mine are fine. My so essentially, to keep your lifetime warranty, you have to go yearly to get a checkup, and then you got to send the report back to where the LASIK was.
Okay.
So you have a warranty on your eyes?
I guess technically, but part of me thinks like that's not right. They're not going to do it forever. If I'm like 88,
You're like you just have glaucoma.
yeah,
Dude.
it's like, dude, you're done.
Yeah. These are naturally occurring.
Got your money's worth.
Can you do elderly people like literally 80 and above? Would they do LASIK?
Would they get it, or would surgeons do it?
The latter.
I don't know. It's a very good question.
Yeah.
My mom got it, and she's like late 60s.
Yeah. Had she had it before or no?
No, she said it was like the best decision ever.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've been happy with it for sure.
Yeah.
I've been really thinking about it.
If I ever needed it like that versus contacts or glasses, I would definitely do it.
Yeah, I would have
It's
done.
not expensive, right?
Wasn't bad. I got it done in 2017. I think it was like $2,700,
Per eye or
$2,200 total.
Total.
Yeah, so not bad considering like not being able to see,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I know they always say like, what did they do back in the day if they couldn't see? Or they probably
Die.
did. Yeah, but they probably know like if you need glasses, they probably had like some type of.
Imagine if you were like on the frontier or something.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I think you're just a guy who goes hungry because you can't hunt or do anything. You're just dead.
Yeah, but I feel like they were crafty fuckers. Like they'd be able to figure something out. Like they probably had some type of mechanism.
Dude, it's like you watch that show, like it's the prequel to Yellowstone, and they're just going out. It's like the Tim McGraw one, and they're going out and they're fighting bandits, and like they might start the trip with glasses, and then they fall in a river trying to cross with their wagon. Your glasses are like you're gone. Like you just can't see anymore. What do you do then?
Yeah, for as annoying as contacts are, I think glasses are still more annoying.
The worst.
Yeah.
How so?
Little things like if I just like
Do you
plop
have
back.
You have contacts, right?
Yeah, if I just like constantly having to readjust my glasses, like even if I bend over to pick something up or just like fall back in a chair every time, I'm going to be slightly, and it just I don't know it aggravates me being on top of my nose.
Do you wear
all day.
sunglasses?
Here and there, yeah.
Okay, because I feel like I wear sunglasses every day, just about, and I've never been like I gotta adjust these glasses, these fucking glasses. Like it's
I sometimes do, but like if I'm driving, like I'm
looking for them in the car and they're on my face. I don't even realize.
No, I'm not big on the glasses. How long did it take you to realize your vision was going though?
I think I first noticed I was in 8th grade, freshman year of high school, and I was very tame. Like I had like a negative 0.05.
What does that mean?
It's like nothing.
It's like nothing.
Okay.
And then I think I topped out at -1, maybe -1.5, maybe. So basically, like I couldn't see the board from the back row,
Okay.
or like 3, But if I was in the front row, I'm fine.
Okay.
But like those people back in the day you're talking about, I think it would take longer than you realize. Because I had, before I had anything, I went in with like a +3.5. And I was working at a bar at the time. And like obviously I could notice my vision was getting a little blurry. But it wasn't until eventually when like I had to decipher between like 2 beers. And I was like, oh, what did he say? Because I was just like so subconsciously used to like everything by color and label and shit.
So you were nearsighted?
I guess I always fuck it up. I'm
I always
plus.
feel backwards. I feel like they've been explained to me 7,000 times in my life and can never keep them straight.
Yeah, so you couldn't see close.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like,
And that's
far
when you
wasn't
realized
easy
when you
either.
looked at 2 beers?
Yeah, it was just shit like that. Having to, or like they would make a list of like beers you have to grab. And I was like, oh my God, I can't read this for shit. I've been working at a bar like the past 2 years. I'm not like reading chalkboards or anything.
Yeah.
That would freak me out, I think.
So yeah, and then I got them the first time, like holy shit. I'm like noticing pores on my face again for the first time in a year, like pimples.
Yeah, you'd be freaked out.
That's why I do love those. They go viral every once in a while. Like a little kid getting either a hearing aid or putting on glasses the first time. They're like, holy shit. Because like if you're little, like you don't even know what you're missing. And then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit. Like
This is what
the world looks like. Yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah, Mr. Beast ass video.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't see like street signs far, like when I'm driving, which is the biggest problem. And then you just got to the point where I'd be walking around like campus. People were like, yo, I waved to you earlier and you just didn't say it. You didn't wave back, you asshole. And I'd be like, all right,
I got
to figure this out.
Yeah.
I got to figure this out. So, because I wouldn't wear them, of course, just because.
Yeah. You're lucky though. If I don't have my contact, like if I lose a contact, I'm usually going home.
Why don't you get it?
LASIK?
Yeah.
I don't know. You freak me out about that like couple moments where you're just completely blind and wait for your vision to come back or not.
Yeah, that's fucked up. It's like 3 seconds where your eyes are open and you can't see.
So you know what it's like to be blind?
Pretty much.
But
Yeah.
so is it just all black?
It's all black.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all black.
I've always wondered what blind people, like if you were born blind.
I think they say that you won't even see black if
That's
you're
what I
blind.
mean.
If they
So
say it, like comparison I've heard is it's like trying to see out of the palm of your hands. You just can't. It's just nothing. It doesn't exist. If you're purely 100% absolutely blind.
Like you don't see black, you're saying?
Yeah, you would just.
Because you don't even have a concept of black.
Yeah, you don't even have a concept of black. So they say it's like trying to see out of the palm of your hands. You just can't. It just doesn't exist.
Like not covering your face.
No,
just
like literally like
it's just nothing.
This is where my eye is. It's like you can't get vision out of your hands.
Yeah, I was gonna say you would think it would just be like you're envisioning your thoughts, but then if you're blind, how do you even know what like, the clouds
and you've
look
been
like?
blind always. You've never had the ability to see. You've been 100% blind your entire life. That's what they say. It's just like you don't have a head, basically.
I remember Arizona. I remember when I woke up super late for our flight a couple years back, and I didn't get a chance to put my contacts in, and Tom asked me to like check a bag for him. I had to give up. I was like, dude, I can't read a shit. You have to do all this.
That's wild.
Yeah,
I'm impaired, man.
Yeah, that's a hopeless
You're
feeling.
blind.
Yeah. All right, then we could wrap this up. Anything else?
No, I have something for next week. I think.
Perfect.
Oh,
Yeah, let's write it down, save
suspense.
it. Don't lose it. And that's it. We'll see you guys tomorrow.